Hey guys, today's case is about the Ochang Manhole Incident. Mr. A, the witness, who was climbing a mountain in Ochang North Chungcheong province, saw a strange scene. He saw a silver foil mattress on top of the manhole cover with stones on it, so one flew away. What's worse is that Mr. A found a rope tied on the manhole lid and the man hanged himself on the rope. It was a 2010 Ochang Manhole incident that shocked Korea. On February 3, 2010, 4 days before the body was found, Mr. Choi, the victim, was busy from the morning, saying he was going to Ansan to receive the payment from overdue construction work. The CCTV shows him leaving the apartment at a quick pace, and about 6 minutes after Choi left the house, his wife, who was at home, called him to inform that he had left his wallet. But when Choi answered the phone, he said he knew he left it and then hung up the phone. According to the mobile phone signal tracking, Choi's battery was disconnected in the middle of the highway. Mr. Choi's car believed to have been parked on the highway around 8:40 p.m. that evening. That scene was taken from a bus CCTV going to Ochang. Mr. Choi was last seen when he bought a cigarette in a convenience store in Ochang around midnight, wearing the same clothes he wore when he leaves his house in the morning, and was later found dead in the manhole. Is it suicide? If it was suicide, what kind of process would it? If Mr. Choi had committed suicide, he would have tied a rope to the lid first and then put a mat and a stone on the cover. With the lid slightly pushed to the side, he then entered the manhole and pulled the cover that was pushed to the side before tying to his hand with a cable tether to close it. Then, using the handle in the manhole as a footstep, then spread his legs, held the center, tied his wrist with a cable tie connected in the middle, and then took his foot off the handle and hung himself on his neck. This was actually tested by the I Want to Know team or the Kugoshi Algoshipta, and it was impossible to commit suicide through this series of complex process. However, according to the experimenter who was more physic than Mr. Choi, he tied his hand without a single mistake in a dark space. With his legs spread out on the handle and his hands behind him, he uses a cable tie. Suspicious whereabouts of Mr. Choi. On the morning of his disappearance, Mr. Choi headed to Ansan around 8:30 a.m., saying he had money to receive. Using the newly opened expressway, Mr. Choi will arrive at Ansan easily. But Mr. Choi made a U-turn to the toll gate in Soan province 40 minutes after entering the expressway. Mr. Choi was caught in a CCTV near the construction site where he worked, but Mr. Choi did not show up at the construction site on that day. And the time taken on the highway CCTV showed that Mr. Choi was driving at an average speed of 130 kilometers per hour, and that he had seen on Route 21 for a while. At around 11:01 p.m., Mr. Choi's car heading toward Ochang was stamped on the CCTV. But what's strange is that Choi's car was stamped again on the CCTV in the same direction about 10 minutes later. It is estimated that Choi's vehicle was headed to Ochang, drove off the middle road, turned around, and got out. However, this road was short enough to take 3 minutes on foot, but Mr. Choi stayed there for about 10 minutes. They checked the CCTV to see if someone was picked up from here, but the ting-ting is dark and the sunlight is backlit, so the appearance of the passenger was impossible to confirm. The reason the family was suspicious of this place was that the battery was removed after Choi's cell phone stayed on this highway for about 10 minutes, and his cell phone was found hanging on the tree about 30 meters from the manhole. In addition, the family verified the convenience store CCTV where Choi's last image was photographed as evidence that Choi was with someone. At a convenience store, Mr. Choi is wearing shoes, but when Mr. Choi left the house, he was wearing winter boots. It is said that Choi usually wears winter boots, and when he meets someone, he changed shoes he had in the car. When he left the house, he was wearing winter boots, but the fact that he changed them to shoes was evident that he met someone. Also, broken glasses are found in Choi's car. The eyeglasses found were thought to be of Mr. Choi, but in the picture taken 3 days before his death, the shape of the frame and the shape of the nose pads were completely different. Also, they checked Mr. Choi's regular eyeglasses shop and found that Mr. Choi had never adjusted the glasses and used the same lenses for several years. So who do you think owns these broken glasses? Mr. Choi's car parked on the side of the road in Ochang around 8 p.m. and the distance to the convenience store where Choi's last appearance was taken was about an hour on foot. On that evening, the temperature had dropped to -9 degrees Celsius. Did he walk for an hour and arrive at this convenience store wearing normal shoes, not winter boots? Or was it in someone's vehicle? If you look closely at the left door, you can see some lights flickering. Perhaps it is the light of someone's car that Mr. Choi was riding on. Because when Mr. Choi was at convenience store, he acted as if he was looking outside. Experts have assumed that the suspect is someone who has some kind of interest. So it is said that there were frequent clashes between her co-workers. A head of the family was found dead in the mysterious place. The case has been tentatively concluded as a subtle suicide disguised as murder, but it remains pending to this day. Whether it is a suicide or a murder, I hope that the case will be clearly revealed. May he rest in peace.